What if I told you about a man who could remember every single detail of his entire life, and it slowly destroyed him? In the 1920s, a Russian journalist named Solomon Shereshevsky sat in an editorial meeting. His boss read out a long list of names, addresses, complex instructions, the kind of thing reporters always scribbled down. Shereshevsky just sat there. No notebook, no pen. His editor noticed and got irritated. So he asked Shereshevsky to repeat it back, word for word. Shereshevsky did, perfectly. Every name, every address, in order. His editor told him to see a psychologist. He thought something was wrong with him. He had no idea how right he was. The psychologist's name was Alexander Luria, and what he discovered would occupy him for the next 30 years. Luria started small. He read Shereshevsky's long strings of numbers, 15, 20, 30 digits, random, meaningless. Shereshevsky repeated them back instantly, forward, backward, no errors. So Luria pushed further. Complex mathematical formulas, full of symbols Shereshevsky had never seen before, memorized in minutes. Then, Luria did something he probably regretted. He gave up testing the limits, because there didn't seem to be any. 15 years later, 15 years, Luria brought back one of the original number grids. No warning, no rehearsal in between. Shereshevsky closed his eyes and recited it perfectly. He said he could still picture exactly where he'd been sitting when he first read it, what the room smelled like, what he was wearing. The memory hadn't faded at all, ever. How is that even possible? The answer was inside his senses, and it was stranger than anyone expected. Shereshevsky had synesthesia, but not the mild kind where numbers seem like they have colors. His senses were completely fused. Sounds had taste. Words had texture. Numbers had personalities. A 2 felt different from a 7, the way a stranger feels different from a friend. When people spoke to him, their voices arrived as bursts of color and flavor in his mouth. A high-pitched tone might taste sour. A low voice might look like a streak of brown smoke drifting across his vision. Every piece of information arrived wrapped in 5 senses at once, which meant every memory was anchored, layered, impossible to lose. It sounds like a superpower. It was, in some ways, a trap. Because here's what almost nobody expects. Shereshevsky could not summarize a story. Give him a paragraph, and he'd remember every single word, the exact words in the exact order. But ask him what the paragraph was about, he'd struggle, badly. To summarize something, your brain has to throw away detail and keep only the meaning. Shereshevsky's brain didn't throw anything away, ever. So he was left holding thousands of individual bricks and no blueprint for the building. Metaphors confused him too. If someone said a situation was a turning point, his brain didn't picture significance. It pictured an actual physical turning point, a literal junction, a fork in a road. The abstract idea collapsed under the weight of the literal image. His genius wasn't just useless for big picture thinking. It actively got in the way. And it got worse. Because Shereshevsky couldn't forget pain either. Normal people's painful memories fade. The sharp edges wear down over years. Shereshevsky's didn't. Friends who had died decades earlier were still as vivid, as present, as raw as the day he lost them. Old humiliations replayed with full sensory detail. The colors, the tastes, the exact words spoken. He once described trying to forget something by writing it on paper and then burning the paper, hoping that if the paper disappeared, the memory might disappear with it. It didn't work. And that's the twist that should change how you think about your own brain. Forgetting isn't a flaw in the system. It's the system working correctly. Your brain deletes, fades, and blurs memories on purpose, stripping away unnecessary detail so you can extract meaning, move past pain, and function in a world that demands you generalize, summarize, and let go. Shereshevsky had the perfect memory everyone says they want. It nearly broke him. If this case file got under your skin, subscribe. We dig up one mind-bending psychological case every week. Comment below. What mysterious case study should we cover next?